Hello, welcome to jQuery tutorial, chapter 35, jQuery event, which property, brought to you by Ankpro Technologies. My name is Harish. In this session, we are going to learn about how to detect which mouse button is clicked using jQuery. So, when a mouse button is clicked, there are two events automatically triggered. One is mouse up and mouse down. When these events occur, the event object it is automatically passed to the respective event handler functions. There are two flavors of event object. One is raw JavaScript event object and the jQuery event object. And keep in mind, if you are using the Internet Explorer 8 and the earlier version, then you have to use the event property button to get which mouse button is clicked. Similarly, if you're using Internet Explorer version 9 and above, okay, then you have to use event property which to get which mouse button is clicked. So without wasting much time, let me show you a demo of event property button for Internet Explorer version 8 and earlier version, and event property which for Internet Explorer 9 and earlier versions. Okay, now let me jump into Visual Studio and let me start coding for that. It's very simple. First, what I'll do is first let me take a input element, and this input element type will be of button, and let me remove the name. As of now we don't require it. And apart from that, let me take a ID. So the ID will be my button and the value is click me. So apart from that, what I'll do is I'll take a div element. I'll tell you why I'm taking the div element in my later explanation. And to the div element, what I'll do is let me add a ID, and the ID is my div. Control S. Now what I'll do is let me start writing the J. Okay, first let me go back to presentation and let me make use of raw JavaScript event object, and let me write if else clause where in the if else clause I'm specifying if okay, event property event dot button, okay, in the first clause, and in the else clause I'm telling like event dot which. Why? Because my code is ready to work both in Internet Explorer 8 and earlier version as well as Internet Explorer 9 and earlier version. So let me code it and let me explain you later. So what I'll do here is first, okay, I'm going to write a raw JavaScript, then I'm going to convert that code to the jQuery. So first what I'll do is let me take a function, and the function name I'm going to get like mouse button. The function name is mouse button. To that I'm going to pass a event object. Okay, and I'm done with this. So apart from that, what I need to do is first I need to take a variable which will hold the result of which button is clicked. So first let me create a variable, and the variable name is clicked button. Click btn, fine, that's good. And after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take if else clause. So if event dot button, okay, let me specify if event dot, let me go with the which, if event dot which, okay, then switch, I'm going to call a switch statement here. So what is the advantage of using switches? I'll tell you. Control C and let me paste it here. Okay, then what I'll do here is in my case 1, I'm going to take this variable that is click button, okay, is equal to left button clicked, and what I'll do is let me end up with semicolon and let me add a break. Similarly, let me copy this and let me paste it thrice. So if the case is 2 and if the case is 3, so it is middle button clicked if the case is 2, and that is right button. Okay, and in the default Let me specify something like, let me specify invalid button. Okay, and in the else clause what I'm going to do is, I'm going to copy and paste this same code inside the else block, and I'm going to tell like if event dot, if it is a button. Okay, I'm getting an error expected. So what I'm trying to do is, let me remove this, let me check out what is the problem happening here. So yeah, I have to come out of here, then I have to write it. So here I'm going to specify, I'm going to copy this switch, and I'm going to tell like if the event dot button property, okay, this button is going to work, this property is going to work in Internet Explorer 8 and earlier versions. So first what I'm going to do is, I'm going to check if if the event object, if the browser is of Internet Explorer 9 and version, I'm going to use this which property, or if my Internet Explorer version is of 8 and earlier version, then I'm going to switch to this. So let me change the values here. So instead of it is 4, it is 5, and it is 6. Okay, and now what I'll do is, now once I get the data, okay, I have to pay, once I get the result, I have to place it in some div. So I've taken this div right now. So what I'll do right now is, here I'm going to call a document. So I need to get with the JavaScript, so I'm get element by ID. So the ID of the div is my div. Let me copy that and let me paste it here. Okay, dot inner HTML equal to, okay, then I'm going to paste this. Okay, control V, and let me end this. So what we are doing right now is, let me go back to presentation. If your Internet Explorer version 8 and above, then make use of event property called button. Okay, then check like which button is clicked. Or else if your Internet Explorer version 9 and earlier version, then make use of event property called which, then fetch the detail like which mouse button is clicked, whether the left, right, or the center one. So that's what I've done using the raw JavaScript. You can observe here very clearly, this is the raw JavaScript, it's having a function. Okay, and after that what I need to do is, okay, when this event should happen, okay, this should happen on mouse up. Okay, on mouse up it should fetch that, it should call this event. So call the function, sorry, on mouse up it is going to call this, control V. So what I'll do is, now let me push this page to the browser, let me press control F5. So now when I click on the button, okay, based on like whether I clicked left, right, or middle one, it is going to display the content there. So I'll click here, okay, it's the left button clicked. Now I'll click on the right, it's right button clicked. Now I'll click on the middle, okay, you can observe very clearly middle button clicked. So this is this is Chrome. Okay, as of now let me jump into Internet Explorer browser and let me check out there. So this is my HTML page, right click, open browse with. So here we'll get a list of browsers. Let me go with Internet Explorer. Let me click OK, and here comes my browser. Okay, now I'll click. Okay, it's working fine, and middle button and the right button. Okay, but let me change the Internet Explorer version by going to developer tools, and here comes the window. Okay, and the version is, here's my DOM, and let me change the version to 7. Now I'll go here and I'll click. Okay, it is still working. Okay, I got it. What is the problem? Let me refresh. Let me go back here and let me check out Internet Explorer 8. Okay, let me click. Okay, you can observe the invalid button. I don't know why it's throwing that one. So what I'll do is let me close this and let me refresh the page. Now when I click on that, you can observe left button clicked, right button and the middle one. Now what I'll do is I'm going to change the Internet Explorer version. Right now it is 11. Okay, now I'm going to take 8. Okay, now I'll click on that. Okay, the problem is in my code, I guess. Let me go back and let me check out. So instead of giving this, let me give the values as it's a clicked button. Okay, now let me go back to my Internet Explorer and let me refresh the page. Now I'll get left button, right button, the middle button. Okay, I'm getting invalid button for the right side. So let me go and inspect that. What is the problem happening there? So the right button clicked. Okay, so it is 143. So let me give it something like this. Right button clicked. Let me go back and let me refresh. I have to interchange. I've done like that. Click left button, right button and the middle one. Yes, it's working fine for the middle one too. And let me change now the developer tools, and here comes the Internet Explorer 8. Okay, I've kept it in the 8 version and still it works very clearly. So why our code is working perfectly? Because we have written our raw JavaScript. In the raw JavaScript we are telling like if the event property is switch, then execute this switch statement, and if the event property is button, then execute this switch statement. Okay, I hope you understood this one. But what we are doing is we are making use of raw JavaScript event object, but we can reduce this code with the help of jQuery event object. So let me show you that also. It's very simple. What I'll do is I'll just cut this. Sorry, first let me copy that and let me cut this and let me remove this part also. So let me remove this one and this too and this one also. Now I'll achieve the same functionality with the help of jQuery. So first let me verify whether my document is loaded completely or not with the help of okay, here I'm going to tell like identify a button. So the button will be my button btn, and to this you're going to attach mouse up. When mouse up, it should show like which button was clicked. So here let me paste that. So before that let me create a variable called clicked btn. So now what I need to do is once this is done, so here I have to check, I have to tell like okay, identify a div. Okay, then once you identify the div, pass this data inside the div. So my div id is my div. So I'm calling a HTML method. To the HTML method I'm going to pass this variable, that is click button, which will be having the data like which button is clicked, whether the right, left or the middle one. So let me end up here. Control S, let me go back and let me refresh. Now you can observe still it works. Okay, the amount of code I've written using jQuery is very less when compared to the raw JavaScript. So this which property is going to work across all the browsers. So we have to make use of this jQuery. It reduces our work and it makes in a simple manner. So let me go back here and let me refresh again. So this is right button clicked, the middle button and the left button. So this is how you will come to know like which button is clicked with the help of which property, which of a event object. So I hope you finally understood like what is the advantage of using a which property. And thank you for listening. Have a great day. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel Ankpro Training. You can also like our Facebook page visiting this URL. You can also follow us on Twitter. For further reference of our website, we are on LinkedIn too. Last but not the least, please don't forget to give the feedback. Thank you. Have a great day.